On the distant planet of Zixor, where days merged with nights in endless gray haze, lived an alien named Zarg. He was a slave, toiling in the vast fields where the rare and valuable Zixorian thistle was cultivated. Exhausting labor, hunger, and humiliation were his daily reality. Each new day resembled the previous one, and only the stars in the night sky reminded him of the freedom he once knew. One day, a mysterious stranger arrived at the slave camp. His face was hidden under a dark hood, and a menacing, unfamiliar weapon hung on his back. The slave trader, cruel and ruthless, came out to meet the guest. "I am Ator," the stranger introduced himself. "I need to find 3 criminals. They are said to be hiding here." The slave trader laughed, but there was a flicker of respect in his eyes. "There are many here who know about the fugitives," he said, gesturing to the rows of slaves. Ator approached Zarg, whose expression was a mix of fear and determination. The hitman purchased him from the slave trader, promising that he would stay alive if he helped find the criminals. Zarg knew who Ator was looking for. Krag, Mora, and Vailin were his neighbors in the barracks, who had planned an escape and committed several murders. Zarg realized that by cooperating with the hitman, he might gain a chance at freedom. They set off on a dangerous journey across Zixor's desert lands. Winds carried dust and sand, blinding their eyes and making it hard to breathe. Zarg led Ator through hidden paths and abandoned settlements until they reached an old factory where the criminals were hiding. Krag, Mora, and Vailin knew the hitman was after them. They set up an ambush in the old factory, surrounding its inner rooms with traps and ambush points. When Ator and Zarg entered, the first wave of attack was sudden. The first shot rang out like thunder in a clear sky. Krag, the largest and strongest of the criminals, charged at Ator with a massive metal shard. Ator, moving with lightning speed, dodged and struck back. The fight was brutal and fierce. Despite his strength, Krag couldn't withstand the hitman's onslaught and fell first, his body hitting the ground with a dull thud. Mora, agile and quick, attacked from behind, slashing with knives. Ator parried her attacks, but she was persistent and cunning. At one point she managed to wound Ator, and he felt a sharp pain in his side. Seeing this, Zarg realized he had to help. He grabbed a nearby piece of debris and rushed at Mora. The sudden strike distracted her, and Ator seized the moment to deliver a fatal blow. Mora fell, her eyes clouded with the veil of death. Only Vailin remained, the most dangerous of the 3. He pulled out a powerful blaster and began firing at Ator and Zarg. Vailin was a skilled marksman, and every shot found its mark. Ator took cover behind debris, trying to find a way to approach the enemy. Zarg, seeing that time was running out, mustered all his courage and charged at Vailin. In close-quarters combat they grappled, their bodies hitting each other, each strike potentially fatal. Vailin was stronger, but Zarg didn't give up. Ator, seizing the opportunity, shot Vailin in the shoulder. Vailin cried out and loosened his grip, giving Zarg a chance. He delivered the final blow, and Vailin fell. Silence filled the abandoned factory. Zarg and Ator, breathing heavily, stood up. Ator looked at Zarg with respect. "You made your choice, Zarg," said the hitman. "You've earned your freedom." With these words, Ator released Zarg, giving him some money and pointing him towards the free lands. Zarg left, having gained not only his freedom but also a new purpose in life, to fight for the liberation of other slaves on Zixor. Zarg's story became a legend among the oppressed, inspiring them to fight for their freedom and a better future. He had come a long way from a slave to a hero, and his name remained forever in the history of Zixor as a symbol of hope and courage.